Oh, Shauna, we have 215 games on Good Old Games.
I know. We have a pretty sweet collection, though. We're going to do like a mini review over games that we have beaten or have played, just for fun. Because some people are interested in seeing other people's libraries. I know I am. So, starting at the beginning. Oh, I didn't play any of these yet.
Oh, you haven't?
No, I was playing 1602.
Oh, down here?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Toonstruck, haven't
played that
yet.
one.
Obduction, haven't played yet. Bioshock Infinite, I'm very disappointed in. It's extremely linear. It's extremely simplified. Ken Levine is so full of himself as a writer, that is, the guy who wrote the story, and it's probably one of the most preachy games I've ever played. It doesn't matter what your background is, this game is extremely liberal preachy. I was not impressed. It's in your face all the time as far as its political views, and it gets to the point it actually gets pretty ridiculous. I really liked Ruiner, but it got super repetitive. Even though I had a lot of fun with this game, I eventually just got bored with it and quit playing, which is kind of sad, because when I look at the picture I hear the theme song in my head and I want to like go back and play it again. It was fun while it lasted. Blood, this is like the definition of a shareware game, because the very first adventure or level that you're on is really, really well done, and then everything else after it is just kind of bleh. I can't believe Steven Nonsense thinks that this game is better than Half-Life, because every time I turn on Half-Life, whether it's Half-Life 2 or Half-Life 1 or Black Mesa, I get like sucked in with that game. Where Blood, it was only good for like the very first campaign, and then all the other campaigns after it just were so boring and so poorly made. If you like looking at white walls and seeing red jelly go everywhere, pretty much the rest of the game for you. Warcraft 2, Shauna.
That is a classic that I can't even believe Good Old Games got it. That is the very first PC game I ever played when I was like 9 or something, when we first got our computer. That game's amazing. No, I've never beaten it, but I've played it a lot. Yeah, I've never played the first one.
You and I have both played the first Diablo.
Yeah,
and we really far in it.
We almost beat it, but it was so hard.
I feel about the first Diablo kind of how I feel about Ruiner. It was super fun, but then it got super repetitive towards the end, and then got super hard.
It was really hard. But it was good. I think it's a good game. I really do.
I haven't played this yet, but I've been told Giant's Citizen Kabuto is supposed to be really funny. Jagged Alliance 2 is like part XCOM, part Fallout, so I should
That sounds right up your alley.
Summoner, haven't played. Here's another one I'm disappointed with. Shadowrun Dragonfall. This game was supposed to be like an RPG that was in the veins of, or cut from the same cloth as like Fallout and the original Fallout, and it just wasn't very good. It was very poorly made, I thought. The whole time I was playing it, it felt super low budget, and it wasn't fun. I don't mind low budget if the game's fun. I thought the game was super unfair and not fun and boring writing. And then you played this.
Anno 1602 AD. It is fun, but it is so hard to get into. You have to really want to play it. I spent a lot of hours just trying to get into the game. Once I finally started to slowly understand how the game was played, I started to get kind of bored. Anno 1602 just didn't do that great of a job of showing you how to play the game. What the pixelated picture meant.
We haven't played this or this. Nope. I have not tried the remasters, but I'd like to.
You play them on PS3, right?
Yep. I've never played it at 60 frames per second, and I've never played the remastered version, so... Mm-hmm. That'll be fun. Far Cry 2, I could see why Gaming HD or Unicom liked it, but I got kind of bored with it because I didn't think there was that much to do. I did like the game, but then I was kind of like, I don't know. Like, it was pretty much go drive in a savannah and go blow stuff up. It was very sandboxy, and I'm actually not much of a sandbox person.
Tropico 3 and 4, I'm going to talk about them together because they are practically the exact same game. Tropico 3 was amazing, and I beat it. If you like city building and micromanagement and things like that, building. But when you play Tropico 4, it's even better, but it's still the same graphics and still the same gameplay. The reason why I like Tropico 4 more is because it basically makes you build things you probably wouldn't have built if you had a choice. So you learn about how products and machines and factories work that you probably wouldn't have built on your own, which actually made it even more fun. Full Throttle. This is one we played together, so we could both talk about this one. We haven't beat it.
We have not beat it. It's Tim Schafer, so I had high expectations. It's definitely not in the same league as Day of the Tentacle or Grim Fandango.
It didn't have that same
charm.
It wasn't even the same humor, really.
Well, I know he's passionate about motorcycles.
The story wasn't that interesting. There are things that you had to do to complete a puzzle that were so annoying.
True.
And you're just like, what?
As far as a LucasArts game goes, I'd say it's not...
It's a little lower tier.
It is lower tier. This is a Troika game, and I need to play it.
I haven't played it.
Haven't played it. You played Dungeon Keeper too.
Yeah, it's really good. I haven't beaten it. I should continue to play it, but you know how you play a game for hours and hours and then you stop playing and you never go back?
Yeah.
It wasn't because I didn't want to go back. I just got distracted and did something else. But Dungeon Keeper 2, I think, is a great game. It is better than the first one. It's another management game, building and management. It's very good.
And Populous, I remember we ran into some technical
Populous, I tried to play that one too because, you know, it's another one of those building-ish management type sort of game, but I couldn't find fun. I was searching for the fun and I couldn't find it in Populous. It's dated and it didn't age well.
Sam X hit the road. We started but didn't finish. We barely started.
We basically made sure the game worked.
Warband, I have not played, but I want to. Alan Wake is a game I really, a lot of people hate this game. I don't hate it. I think it's actually a really fun game. I thought it had an interesting story, fun gameplay. The biggest problem I had with it was the picking up weapons mechanics was super annoying. Also, and the ending. Those were the two biggest problems I had with the game, was the ending, and then some of the game mechanics were very annoying. Battle Chasers, I need to give it a fair shot because this is a Japanese RPG that's made by Americans.
Kind of like
Shadow Tactics, which is a Japanese-themed spy game made by Germans.
Oh.
It's really hard. It's ridiculously hard. It's probably one of the hardest games I've ever played. Probably going to do a full review of Kingdom Come Deliverance based upon the way I've seen you talk and play about this game.
Oh man, this game, I didn't have any expectation. I didn't even know what this game was. And then you started playing it, and I was watching, and I was like, wow, I really want to play this. So funny, and it's a relaxing game, but at the same time, it gets pretty intense when you get caught by Kumans on the road, and you gotta fight them. It was one of my favorite games so far this year.
Call of Cthulhu.
We definitely gave this game a fair shot.
It was, the thing about it is the story was interesting, but like when it started acting up and crashing and having issues, I did not want
having saving
issues. I did not want to go back and replay those levels again. Like, the thing about it is the story was interesting, the gameplay was so annoying and so awful. It wasn't bad enough that I wanted to quit the game, but it was bad enough that I would never want to go back and replay those levels again. There were some really annoying levels in that game. Sunless Sea, haven't played. XCOM Enemy Unknown is one of the greatest games ever made.
I love watching Aaron play that game.
I don't care what Unicom says. It's still a pretty deep game, even though it's not as deep as the original.
And it's funny. Unintentionally funny.
It is unintentional.
Me and Aaron laugh and laugh while we play that game.
Unreal, haven't played. Cryptark, haven't played. Curse of Monkey Island is on my to-do list. This game looks super funny, and I love the animation in it. Super Ultra Time Force, haven't played. Ghost of a Tale. Sean,
I'm playing that now, but I've been taking an unintentional break because I'm Let's Playing it, and I don't feel like Let's Playing it.
That's why
I probably would have had that game beat by now if I wasn't Let's Playing it.
I'm not planning to ever Let's Play another game that I'm interested in.
Ghost of a Tale is a diamond. It's amazing. It's so fun, and I love rodents, and the fact that the main character is a mouse, and it's all animals, and I love animals. It's really, really good. It's got great gameplay, great control. I'm going to continue that game. I'm not sure if I'm going to continue my Let's Play.
Dungeon 3 I haven't played. Tooth and Tail.
Tooth and Tail, man, did I try to give this one a chance, because again, mice and rats and all other types of animals. It's a RTS, except it's not like an RTS that you would think it is. It's not like Warcraft or StarCraft It's not like Warhammer. It's not fun like those. Really hard to explain. But instead of like gathering resources and building a base or something like that, you're given certain characters that you can use. It's like constant trial and error. Keep replaying and replaying and replaying the same level again and again. And it's not fun because you're like, what am I even supposed to do? In general, I do like RTSs. It's probably the most frustrating game I've ever played in my entire life.
And I forgot to state, but we're going through these in the order of newest that we've bought.
They're in purchase date.
They're on purchase date. So these are games that we've purchased recently, and we're going backwards in time. Let's see here. I haven't played Homeworld. Alpha Centauri, nope, haven't played it yet. Medal of Honor War Chest. I should install and replay this game because this was a childhood favorite of mine. It was the first-person shooter I'd ever played, or was allowed to play, besides GoldenEye. Stalker Clear Skies, haven't played. Gothic 2, haven't played. Carmageddon, Hard West.
Haven't played.
Oxenfree. This was an entertaining game.
Yeah.
I liked Oxenfree.
It was good.
It wasn't amazing, but it wasn't disappointing.
It was good enough to finish.
This is a Telltale game that I do want to play.
You skipped MDK.
I don't know anything about MDK. 1 unit whole, blood. It's still blood. It's just blood. Shadow Warrior, haven't played. Shadow Warrior 2. I do want to play this game again, but I was very taken aback by the disgustingly crude humor in it and how uncool your main character is. But the gameplay looked very fun, very doomish, and so I do want to go back and play it for the gameplay. I see Strongholds HD at Half Price Books every time we go there. Don't know what 2044 is. Cuphead, I should reinstall and play Cuphead. That game is amazing. Grim Dawn, I'll let Sean talk about Grim Dawn because this is like her genre.
This is a game we're playing together actually, but this is a Diablo type game, and I really like Diablo 2. Diablo 2 is one of my favorite games. Grim Dawn is like Diablo 2 times 97. Bigger maps and fun quests, and it seems like limitless items. There's such a variety.
Haven't played Alien vs. Predator. Haven't played Xenonauts. Firewatch. That is probably one of the most overhyped walking simulators I have ever played.
That game was boring. It's not because I think walking sims are boring. I don't. Soma's amazing.
You hear that, Jake?
Firewatch was not amazing. It was just constant, terrible dialogue between the guy and the girl. Super unfunny. Boring.
Oddworlds, haven't played it. Dragon's Dogma. I should download and play this. This should be the RPG to take my time while you're playing Kingdom Come Deliverance. Return to Castle Wolfenstein. Heroes 3, some people say is better than Heroes 2. Don't know, haven't played it. Hotline Miami. I need to give this one a fair shot. It's like a really violent arcade beat 'em up. Deadlights, haven't played. Hollow Knight, I need to give it another fair shot. I was in a bad mood when I started Hollow Knight.
Theme Park is genuinely fun, but it doesn't even compare to Roller Coaster Tycoon. But it's fun. It's really limited on the types of things you can build. I used to say I didn't like Theme Park because the only version I had ever played was the PlayStation 1 version. And then I got this one and I'm like, it's not that bad. It's alright. I probably won't play it again because I don't really have a reason to.
Then we have Juten Valhalla Edition. Don't know anything about it. Fantasy General, don't know anything. American Nightmare, heard very bad things about American Nightmare, that it wasn't very good at all. Rebel Galaxy, I've heard is actually a great game, but I wouldn't know because I haven't played it. Stardew Valley, I'm thinking about playing it single player because I think time stops in single player when you're having conversations with people.
Multiplayer needs to be fixed. It ruined the game. Aaron and I tried to play it together and have a good time, and it was stressful. Because you had to hurry, and then when you wanted to go to the store, nobody was there.
Fallout 3 Game of the Year Edition. I haven't played the PC version, only played the PS3 version and was bored to death of it. I want to play this with mods and see how it's like, because I played Fallout New Vegas with mods, and it's one of my favorite games of all time.
You played that game for like 80 hours.
Probably even longer.
Maybe longer. You finally uninstalled it.
Because I put so much time in it and I wanted to move on to other games. Elder Scrolls Oblivion, I played it on PS3, but I hardly remember anything about it because that was back in 2009. And then, of course, we've got
the S&K collection.
The S&K collection, which the one that really stands out to me is actually this one right here, Samurai Showdown 5. They have remastered it so that it has really good netcode. I think it uses GGPO netcode.
King of the Monsters, is that Godzilla?
I don't remember what it is.
Blazing Star, haven't played that. Twinkle's Star Sprites? What in the world is that?
It's a puzzle game.
Oh, this is SNK still.
Yeah, this is all SNK.
Oh, no wonder I'm like, where did we even get these games? Page 2.
So we got The Last Blade. Last Blade 2 is better because it has Setsuna.
Siberia. I haven't played it from Good Old Games, but I've played it because I own a hard copy and I have beaten it like 3 times. And it's one of my favorite adventure games of all time. Siberia 2, I've only beaten it once, so I can't really review it at this time because it was a long time ago.
The Witcher. Gwent. Gwent was actually pretty fun. It's just that I think Hearthstone's more fun than Gwent. Syndicate. That's a game I need to get into, but I don't know anything about. X-Wing games. The first one I actually want to play is TIE Fighter. I'd rather play TIE Fighter than X-Wing, but they were selling it as a bundle. Before I play these, I need to play Free Space 2 and beat it, because Free Space 2 is awesome. Little Nightmares is one of my favorite indie games.
It was really
of all
good.
Time. I like Little Nightmares more than Inside. Inside was interesting, but I think it was overhyped. Little Nightmares is underhyped. Saint Rose 2, haven't played, but I've been told it's like Grand Theft Auto co-op, so Sean and I should play this together.
Sounds fun.
Hyperlight Drifter is one of my favorite games of all time. Day of the Tentacle, we played the DOS version. I would like to go back and play the remastered version.
Me too. We beat that together, and it was funny. I think that's my favorite.
Tim Schafer game.
Yeah.
Metro 2033. I have just decided, like within the past week, that I don't like this game, and I stopped playing it. I think it's overhyped. I think it's overrated. Combat is not very good. The AI sucks. The AI actually was horrible in this game. It wasn't a very good first-person shooter. They had that modern first-person shooter syndrome of if you get shot, you have to duck in a corner to self-heal so that way you don't die, which was popularized by the modern Call of Duty games. And then they also suffer from the syndrome of, hey, we couldn't program really good AI, so instead we'll make enemies really spongy, so you have to shoot them multiple times in order to kill them and make that up for the poor AI. So you'll have guys that just come running around corners straight at you, and they still might get the jump on you because they soak up bullets like a sponge soaks up water. I'm more of a fan of like Stalker, where it's first come, first serve. If I see you first and I shoot you first, you should be dead. And the gas masks were stupidly limited supply. Commandos haven't played, but Shauna was really excited about these games.
Yeah, they were only like 50 cents or something because you got the bundle.
Amnesia still need to play. Vampire the Masquerade is...
We have full review of this one.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite games of all time. Far Cry is one of my favorite first-person shooters of all time. I love the original. Soma is...
Best walking sim ever.
Soma is the best walking simulator ever. Mark of the Ninja I could not finish because I thought the game was kind of boring. Like, I did not find Mark of the Ninja interesting. Mostly because it tried too hard to be like Batman the Animated Series. It wasn't Japanese enough for me. You could tell it was made by an American company and not a Japanese company. It was like Americans' expectations of what a ninja game should be like, not a Japanese. I prefer Ninja Gaiden games over Mark of the Ninja any day. Hence why I'm really enjoying The Messenger right now. And Civilization 4 is one of the greatest games of all time.
Aaron and I play that together and we have a lot of fun.
Warsaw, isn't that a town in Poland?
I have no idea what that is.
Never played it. Stargunner, never played it. Aklabeth, World of Doom, that's supposed to be like one of the oldest RPGs ever made. Biomenace, I have no clue. Deluxe edition of Roller Coaster Tycoon.
That's one of my favorite games of all time right there. That's one of the top 10 games that changed my life. Banished. I put a lot of hours into Banished. I might install it again in like a year or two. Play it again. It's another city builder. I like those city builder games.
Undertale. I should give this game another shot because I think this game actually was pretty cool. I just quit playing it because Jake said that Undertale was overhyped. Jake, for some reason, influenced my opinions.
Sometimes Jake influences us.
Yeah. But I would like to get back into it because I think it is a cool game. Transistor is probably my favorite Supergiant game. Greg Kasavin made it.
Kane?
The trailer for this was super weird. Have you seen the trailer for Kane?
I don't know. Did you show me it?
Ori and the Blind Forest. Beautiful game, but it gets boring fast. Owlboy. Another beautiful game, but had a terrible ending. Warlords Battlecry 3. There's an RTS that I should start playing. I would need to get into more RTSs. Stalker Shadow of Chernobyl is one of my favorite games of all time.
We have a full review of it on our channel. It's got a really great soundtrack, which was missing from Call of Pripyat.
And Call of Pripyat, even though people like it better. I've only played the complete version of Shadow of Chernobyl, so maybe that's part of it. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look through the mods for this again.
Limbo, you beaten that?
Yeah, it's a good game. It's
a
overrated, but it's a good game.
Roller Coaster Tycoon 2 is amazing. It's just more Roller Coaster Tycoon 1. Just kind of like how Tropico 4 is more Tropico 3. Longest Journey was a very good adventure game. I have a whole review on it. It was pretty hard, but it was really, really good, and I beat it.
Icewind Dale Complete, a game I want to play, but before I play Icewind Dale Complete, I want to beat Baldur's Gate 1 and 2.
So we'll play Icewind Dale when we're 40 or something.
That's one of the things I should get back into, since I can't beat Planescape Torment because I keep getting so far and then I quit, getting farther and then quit. I should just go ahead and just start Baldur's Gate again.
We played Baldur's Gate a lot when we were first married. Remember we spent like an entire weekend playing Baldur's Gate? We did nothing but play Baldur's Gate.
I remember.
That was fun.
Free Space 2, a simulator that I need to get into. IL-2, Sturmovik was a childhood favorite. Tried playing it recently and it's so hard. Total Annihilation. That's a RTS that I really like. Planescape Torment. I'm really this game frustrates me. The reason why it frustrates me is because I really enjoy it, but I can't beat it because it's so long. I've replayed the first half of the game like 3 times because every time I've gotten a new computer, I've had to reinstall it. And then I'm just like, I've played this story before already. I've literally gone through half the game 3 times. Neverwinter Nights Diamond. I really like Neverwinter Nights.
I do too. You can have pets.
The problem I have with Neverwinter Nights is it runs terrible on AMD graphics cards. Icewind Dale 2 Complete. Probably won't get to until I play Icewind Dale 1, which I probably won't get to until I play Baldur's Gate 2, which I probably won't get to till I beat Baldur's Gate. Rayman 2 would be a fantastic platformer if it was controller compatible, but as it stands, it is on the keyboard only.
And you can't change your
bindings. Yeah. Darklands, I got this because it's on my GameSpot list of greatest games of all time that was written by Jeff Gerstmann, Brad Shoemaker, and Greg Kasavin. It's a very old RPG, and it looks very hard to get into, but it takes place in medieval Germany. Deus Ex, I need to try it because it's the Game of the Year edition. Just kidding. I needed to play Deus Ex because I've been told that Vampire the Masquerade is basically Deus Ex with vampires. So if Vampire the Masquerade is Deus Ex with vampires, then I might like Deus Ex. Thief is so hard. I really like this game, but I get stuck. I beat the first 3 levels, and then I get to a part where the game just gets so hard. System Shock 2 we beat, and I would have called it one of the greatest games of all time if it wasn't for it got so hard at the end.
It got unbeatable at the end. We have a whole review on this too that tells all of our frustrations with the game, but it was a fun experience until the end.
Banner Saga 1, I really like Banner Saga 1. I like Banner Saga 1 more than most Fire Emblem games that I've played. Master of Orion, it's a 4X game that I still have to play. Master of Orion 2, haven't played it. Baldur's Gate Enhanced Edition, Baldur's Gate 2 Enhanced Edition. Icewind Dale Enhanced Edition, they got the crappy...
They ruined it. They took out the actual cutscenes and put comic book strips.
Grim Fandango is my personal favorite Tim Schafer game. I've beaten it twice. XCOM UFO Defense is one of the greatest PC games ever made, even though it's ridiculously hard.
Banner Saga 2.
Banner Saga 1 was awesome because if your characters died, or if you lost battles, the story still continued. You just had to live with the consequences of losing, which kept the story going, and I liked that. Banner Saga 2, they put so many boss battles in it, and if you didn't beat the boss, you just had to start over. Banner Saga 1, if you lost, okay, you have to suffer the consequences, you lose half your crew, people starve to death. Very depressing, but the story still continued. Banner Saga 2, you had awesome cutscenes, and then bosses would show up. The bosses were cheap. You'd lose to the bosses, and then you have to start it all over again. The story does not continue unless you beat those bosses, and it just got annoying. King's Quest, and King's Quest.
4, 5, 6.
I originally got this pack for King's Quest 6 because it's on GameSpot's greatest games of all time list. Knights of the Old Republic. I really need to play this game because when people find out that I'm a PC gamer, this is like the first game they ask me if I've played. Star Wars TIE Fighter. This is going to be the first Star Wars simulator I'm going to play when I get around to it. Papers, Please.
That's a really, really cool game. And it's really, really hard and stressful.
I like watching Shauna play it because she has really funny comments when she plays it. I personally don't enjoy it because it feels way too much like real work.
It does, actually. It's weird.
It feels like you're actually working. Bastion's super overrated. Great music, boring gameplay. It's like single-player Diablo, which is not very fun. Fear is one of my favorite first-person shooters. Not because it's scary. A lot of people are like, Fear sucks. It wasn't scary. The game isn't that scary, but it's got you remember when I was talking about Metro 2033 having terrible AI? This game has insanely good AI. Crisis Warhead is ridiculous. It's such a silly game.
It's very goofy.
I don't know why they made. I don't even remember the main characters. Psycho, yeah. Why they based it off of Psycho is beyond reasoning.
They really needed to do profit.
Crisis 1 is one of my favorite games of all time. It's just so well done. I wish it was longer. Dragon Age Origins, been told it's a great game. Haven't played it. Crisis Wars doesn't work because it's online only. Doom, all-time classic. Quake, it's better than Doom. Elder Scroll Arena, haven't played it. Elder Scroll Chapter 2, Dagger Falls. Haven't played it. Supposedly, for hardcore Elder Scroll fans, this is supposed to be the best Elder Scrolls game. Most people who like Oblivion like Skyrim. Most people who like Morrowind think that Skyrim and Oblivion are super dumbed down. And then people who think that Morrowind is too mainstream like Dagger Falls.
Interesting.
Final Doom, haven't played. Doom 2, it's pretty much just Doom 1. Quake 2, I actually like Quake 1 better because it's, I don't know why, just like Quake 1 better. Painkiller, haven't played it, but it's similar to Doom and Quake, so I don't know why I haven't played it. It's Serious Sam, a goofy version of Doom.
That's a fun game.
It is fun.
It's not a game to take serious. Don't take Serious Sam serious.
Actually, it's nothing like Doom because it's, you can have, what was it, like, you can have up to like 16 people online at one time.
Something like that. You can have lots of people playing it.
It's a giant arena. Monkey Island and Monkey Island 2. What I really wish they had done with these games. You can press a button, you can switch between the HD graphics back to the artwork is odd and the animations are odd for the remastered version. But that's not the problem. The problem is I really like the voice acting they did with it, but if you switch it to the pixelated version has no voice acting. Heroes of Might and Magic 5 is not as near as good as 2.
No, it's not even close.
Queen of the Amazon.
I haven't played.
Age of Wonders.
I tried that game for like an hour. I can't even tell you anything about it though.
Theme Hospital.
That game is really fun, but you get to a certain point that it feels like it's impossible to beat. It's another one of those management games. You're managing a hospital. And it's old, so it's extremely hard.
Swapper. The Swapper is probably the first indie game that changed my mind about indie games, because prior to Swapper, my idea of an indie game was like Flow and Flower, which I tried to get into because Kevin Van Ord said that Flower was awesome, and then Shauna opened my eyes like the Emperor's New Clothes.
When we were dating. I came over to your house, and you're like, Shauna, I want to show you this.
And you were like, this game is stupid.
Well, I didn't actually say that. You were showing me the game of Flower, and I was like, is this all you do? And you're like, yeah. And I was like, oh.
And then I was like, wow, Kevin Van Ord. I was like, wow, indie games suck. And then I played Swapper and that changed my mind. Swapper is a great puzzle game. Ultima 7. I have not played. Ultima 7, Serpent's Isle, and Silver Sea. This is expansion. Mountain Blade. Mountain Blade Warband is supposed to be better, so I don't know if I'll ever end up playing this. Dungeon Keeper Gold.
Great game. I recommend it if you enjoy managing. In this one, you're managing a dungeon, and you've got little minions and stuff. It's sort of building because, you're digging and stuff, but it's very dated graphics, if you don't mind that.
Fallout Classic. We are super fortunate to have the classic versions of Fallout 1 and 2.
We joined Good Old Games early enough and bought those games soon enough to get these versions.
Well, this is the version before Bethesda took Fallout off of Good Old Games.
Yeah, and there was a riot, basically.
I've beaten Fallout 1, and it's a great game. I have not beaten Fallout 2. Heroes of Might and Magic 2 is one of the greatest games of all time.
For sure. I almost beat that game. I was on the very last level, and then it became impossible for me. How many games have I almost beaten, and then it becomes impossible, and I can't?
That's just the curse of older games.
It is. I'll play that again. I'd totally play that again. It's so much fun. Lure of the Temptress is free for joining Good Old Games, so I haven't played it. Beneath the Steel Sky I have played and beat. It was also a free game. The rest of the games are free for joining Good Old Games. Beneath the Steel Sky is one of my favorite adventure games ever. It's so funny and it's so different. It's its own game. It's got terrible graphics. You have to not mind finding an item that is just 3 pixels large on a pixelated floor. But it's really funny and really, really good, and I will play that again and beat it again someday.
Teen Agent, never played. Urian 2000, never played. Dragon Sphere, didn't you try this?
I tried it. It was old and wasn't enough to keep me playing.
Ultima 4, Quest of the Avatar is supposed to be Greg Gasavin's favorite RPG.
I didn't really like Treasure Adventure game.
What do you think about Ultima Savage Empire?
I don't remember. I remember I tried it, but I don't remember anything about it.
What do you think about Ultima Worlds?
I never tried it. So, thank you if you took the time to watch this. What games do you recommend that we get that are on Good Old Games? What do you recommend we add to our library?
comment below.